This episode, titled What Good Looks Like, Checking Credentials, is a masterclass in safeguarding your property refurbishment project from unqualified or unreliable contractors. It's a step-by-step guide to verifying insurance, accreditations, portfolios, and references to avoid costly mistakes. By the end, you'll know how to identify trusted professionals and steer clear of cowboys who could wreak havoc on your project. The episode kicks off with a stark warning. Just because someone claims to be a builder, architect, or engineer doesn't mean they're qualified or even trustworthy. The host shares a horror story about Mike and Lisa, a couple from Bristol who hired a builder they found on Facebook for a rear extension. The low quote, £20,000 below market price, seemed like a great deal. But halfway through the job, the builder disappeared, leaving behind faulty foundations and no insurance. The couple had to spend over £30,000 more to demolish and restart the project, forcing them to move out of their home. This story underscores the importance of doing proper checks before hiring anyone. The first major topic is insurance, which the host calls the Big Three non-negotiables. These are the types of insurance you must demand from any professional you hire. 1. Professional Indemnity, PI, insurance. This covers professionals like architects, engineers, and surveyors for errors in design or advice that could lead to costly issues. For example, if an engineer specifies the wrong beam size and a collapse occurs, PI insurance would cover the rectification costs. When verifying this insurance, look for a certificate of proof, ensure the policy is current, and confirm the coverage amount. For domestic projects, the minimum should be £1 million, though £2 to £5 million is ideal. If a professional hesitates or says, "It's with my accountant," consider it a red flag. 2. Public liability insurance. This covers accidents or damage on site, such as a worker breaking a neighbor's window or getting injured. The minimum coverage should be £2 million, though £5 million is better. The host shares a chilling example of someone hiring an uninsured roofer who fell and broke his leg. The homeowner ended up paying a £15,000 lawsuit because the roofer lacked proper insurance. 3. Employer's liability insurance. If your contractor has employees, this is a legal requirement. It covers injuries to their staff while on the job. The minimum coverage is £5 million, and the certificate must be displayed on site. The host suggests casually asking about this on day one. If they don't have it, move on to the next candidate. To verify these insurances, you can Google the insurer's name and policy number. Fraudulent certificates won't hold up under scrutiny. The next section tackles accreditations, emphasizing the importance of distinguishing between legitimate credentials and meaningless letters after someone's name. The host breaks down the gold standards for various professions. Architects. They should be registered with the ARB, Architects Registration Board, by law. Membership with RIBA, Royal Institute of British Architects, is another gold standard. You can verify architects at arb.org.uk or riba.org. Technologists. Look for CIAT accreditation, specifically MCIAT or FCIAT. Engineers. Membership in IStructE, Institution of Structural Engineers, is key. Look for MIStructE or FIStructE credentials. Surveyors and Quantity Surveyors, RICS, Royal Institution of Chartered Surveyors, sets the standard. Check for MRICS or FRICS titles. Tradespeople. Gas engineers must be GasSafe registered, gasafregister.co.uk. Electricians should have NICEIC or NAPIT certification for self-certification. For windows and doors, FENSA accreditation is a must. Trustmark is a government-backed quality assurance for trades. The host warns that logos can be photoshopped, so always use online registers to verify credentials. If you're still unsure, call the accrediting body directly. It only takes 5 minutes and can save you thousands. The third section dives into portfolios, emphasizing that the professional's work should speak for itself. Don't just take their word for it. Ask to see examples of similar projects they've completed. Key questions include: What was the scope of the project? What was the budget? And what challenges did you face and how did you solve them? When reviewing their portfolio, pay attention to the details. Are the finishes clean, like neatly tiled edges and straight paint lines? Does the scale of their previous projects match yours? For example, if you're planning a £50,000 renovation, a contractor who only has experience with £500,000, luxury builds might not be the right fit. Developers should also look for evidence of return on investment, ROI, from past projects.
Finally, the host covers references, calling them the real test. Always ask for at least 2 recent clients and make sure to call them. Texts or emails won't give you the full picture. Use a script to guide the conversation, asking about the project's scope, budget, and timeline, as well as the quality of communication and how issues were resolved. A key question is whether they would hire the professional again. Watch out for vague answers, long pauses, or overly diplomatic responses like "it was fine." These are red flags. For example, if a reference mentions that the builder finished the job 3 months late and required constant chasing, it's probably best to pass. To wrap up, the host provides a roundup of red flags to watch for when evaluating professionals.
No references or vague ones.
A push for cash-only payments. High-pressure tactics to sign today.
Quotes that seem too good to be true. Poor communication early on. The episode concludes with a checklist recap of the key steps to avoid hiring a cowboy. 1. Verify insurance, PI, PL, and EL certificates.
2. Check accreditations through official registers.
3. Review portfolios for similar projects and quality finishes.
4. Call references and ask detailed questions.
Following these steps will help you avoid 90% of the risks associated with hiring unqualified or unreliable professionals. It's a small investment of time that can save you from massive headaches and financial losses.